When last spring I was in my stride, in my element, in my DIY element, I was having such a great time being productive, creative, positive. The 10 weeks to launch project was like the real boom, high energy highlight of my year. I was in my element, right? Back then, like a super enthusiastic puppy, I was bombing around with my head everywhere, sort of planning all parts of the boats at once. And all the time I was just picking the camera up, grabbing it, talking to it, and just sharing every sort of tenuous, small thought that came to my mind. This resulted in Kelly, my poor wife, the editor of these videos, having to sit through and sift through hours and hours of footage to try and create some form of like cohesive narrative.
That's enough.
Kelly's just watched 4 hours of toilet talk.
That is enough.
I recall once in the summer, Kelly went out for the day and I had a whole day, glorious day. And every time I had a thought, everything I did, I just kept talking to the camera all day. And she had, I mean, over 3 hours of this footage of me just talking about toilets. Toilet, 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 toilet. The toilet, the toilet, heads. The toilet, toilet, the toilet, the toilet, heads. The toilet, off the toilet. The toilet, toilet with heads. Toilet, 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 toilet. The toilet, toilet, the toilet. The toilet, toilet, the toilet. It's toilet. The toilet, off the toilet. The toilet, toilet with heads. Toilet, 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 toilet. Get your toilet, toilet in it. Toilet, toilet, toilet. And once we were cruising, once we were out sailing, once again Kelly would be presented with hours and hours of footage. And this time, not only from me, but as full-time cruisers, Kelvin and Kelly were both getting stuck in, talking to the camera every time they had a thought, filming something. So now she had phone content and all sorts of content as well as a GoPro, and all the kids as well, right? They did the same thing. They just like, oh, let's film this, let's film this. And given that we like visited a new place pretty much every day, there was quite a lot of footage. And over the last 6 months or so, more than that now, we've been doing these weekly videos. Kelly has refined her editing skills and her production skills, and yeah, she's becoming a real whiz at like cutting it down, chopping it down, going that's rubbish, that's rubbish, that's rubbish, and managing to turn it into a creative narrative. However, this November, this last few weeks, I have created approximately 0 useful content for Kel. Anything I've tried to record has basically just come across as pretty droll and pretty reluctant. And the problem, which I don't know why we were surprised about it when I think about it, the problem is, because it does happen every year, every November, I suppose, in fact, really, is that I get a little bit bluesy. Is that the right word? Kelly touched on it, I think, in last week's video. While she was busy beavering away and creating content, I was sulking around and being grumpy, basically, in short. SAD, or SAD, seasonal disorder, it's basically been part of my life since I was a teenager. I've had 3 periods of my life where they were medically classifiable as mild depression, enough for a bit of intervention from a GP. But I've got to be careful because like depression is a pretty powerful and provocative word, and it's never really been that bad. Like, I come from a very loving and supporting background and network of family and friends, and I've never been, never been anything suicidal or considering any genuinely dark thoughts. It's more just like, just pretty depressed about the inevitable entropy of life on Earth. How about that? Is that a nice way to say it? It's like I just struggle to get motivated. Instead I become agitated and grumpy. I can't sort of shake this overwhelming sense that all life on Earth is doomed, basically. Time is ticking. You can never remake decisions or remake moments. Everything's fleeting. And for some reason that dawns on me a lot more in end of October, November each year. December's a little bit different because we get this run up to Christmas, and I get this real sort of countdown time, I suppose a lot of people do, about the 21st of December, the shortest day of the year. And also for me, another big date, which has always been a big date ever since I worked it out, is the 13th of January, is statistically the coldest day of the year. Doesn't necessarily mean it is the coldest day of the year, but in terms of that bell curve, the peak of when we're expecting the coldest weather is then. And again, as Kelly touched on last week, living on a boat, we love it. You are so much more aware of the elements, so much more in tune with, how dark it is. I don't show many signs of depression in my everyday life, and I don't think, unless you asked or knew, you wouldn't know that it was something that I've always had a little bit behind me, a little bit over my shoulder, and something that I have to just keep tabs on. I digress. These last few weeks, Kelly has been wonderful and is holding down the fort. She is persevering with her startup projects. She's keeping fit. She's managing the household. She's stimulating and educating our 3 kids, ensuring they are all on track with everything they do, which they are. They really are clever kids. And whilst, of course, also go to work and currently being the main breadwinner. She's basically single mumming it, I'm just dossing around. However, it's the weekend, it's now Sunday afternoon, and our videos are supposed to go live again. I don't know why we put our pressure on ourselves. We do this for ourselves, and even moments like this is really for ourselves. It's not for you, but it's just another way that we can express and out, a bit of ourselves. So the weekend's drawn around again, and she's done the last couple of videos, and she's negged and bullied me and made sure it happened, and she's got to the end of the week and I've got nothing for her. So here I am in the car, talking and picking up the GoPro in earnest and trying to create some content for her, which is what I'm doing right now. So yeah, some creative, exciting content. It's been really interesting coming back here. It's been lovely seeing people. We've slipped back into a few things. Kelly's back at martial arts and doing some odd bits and pieces and seeing friends again. It's been lovely, but we're really aware of how much we enjoyed the adventure we went on. And not only that, because the way we sort of stepped into it nice and lightly, all 3 of the kids at individual times have said how much they enjoyed it and how much they want to go back out again, which is really, really lovely. So this is the big dream, right? This is what we're getting our head down for. This is why we're here. We're going, this is our reason to live. It's our, let's just keep our head down, not watch the news, wait till it all blows over, and just focus on our dream and our 3 young children and the life we want to live. Just what we're trying to do. So with that in mind, there's only a couple of really big hurdles in front of us. We want to cross the Atlantic. This time next year, the Ark, which is a flotilla of boats, around 200 boats that go over the Atlantic together each December, and we are signed up to go with them next year, which would be really cool and would avoid also this, hopefully, some of this dark weather, which would be nice. So this is our big goal, our big challenge. I am feeling like Esperance is getting closer and closer to being ready to that target. There's a few offshore things we need to do still, some mainly safety stuff, a few changes I want to make to the rig and stuff that's going to help her on those journeys. And there's still quite a lot of fit out stuff to do inside in terms of just making it comfortable and safe, but nothing I don't think we can't tick off the bulk of over the next 6 months or so. The biggest hurdle for us right now is income. I could get a job teaching back in schools. I could pick up enough gigs a week. Give me a couple of months. If I knew that's what I was going to do, I'd be head down and I could be back earning good money, and we could be very comfortable. And it sounds arrogant to say that because everyone right now is going through a big struggle and hard times. But I know my skills. I know what I can do, and Kelly's exactly the same. Yeah, neither of us work in industries that are going to absolutely boom and make millions, but at the same time we could be living a very comfortable existence, not having to worry about if we want to go out for dinner, not having to worry about leaving the heating on. That wouldn't be a problem, but that's not what we're trying to do. So the big challenge for us now is, can we risk it a little bit, be a bit tight on what we're doing, live hard and try some new skills or try and transfer our skills online? Can we get to a place where we're making enough money that we need to do working remotely, which is a big challenge. I put a little chart on the wall in the house, just in mine and Kelly's bedroom. I just wrote it on the wall because it's a mess there, right? And it's how much money we earned remotely in October, November, December, and I'm going to keep a tally and see if when we get to the spring, it's starting to look, how much Kelly earned, how much did I earn, a bit of competition. She's smashing it at the minute, and see how much we're learning, from the music teaching and the voiceovers and all these things we can do remotely. But yeah, and in the meantime, I have picked up a couple of days work a week down on the River Hamble. There's a company down there I did my yacht master with a number of years ago, and I just as we came back from France, I sent emails to a load of places, and this is one of the companies that got back to me and said, yeah, so they basically said I can choose my hours, but I'm there a couple of days a week now, and on days which suit me, which is quite nice, and just giving a hand to the lad there doing the maintenance. They've got 5 boats, I think, in their fleet, just servicing winches, rewired a mast last week. I took out some seacocks, I'm putting new seacocks. It's just general boat stuff, which is really good because the lad who does the maintenance there, he's super organised. His container with all the tools in it's brilliant, and he's already teaching me stuff and better ways to do things. And the winches, I've not really done that before, and he just completely taught me through it, and great. And that's really cool because I can bring those skills back and they're transferable. Other stuff like seacocks and wiring stuff I've done before, and again, it's just nice to see on a different boat, see how it's done differently. Yeah, it's just basic pay, but it's great for me with my my needs. I get out of the house, I get some fresh air, I get some exercise a couple of days a week. I get to chat to other people, I get stimulated mentally about stuff that's nothing to do with Esperance, even though it's quite closely linked. So lots of positives, and as a bonus, it's going to pay for all our moorings and electrics over winter. So we're sort of settled in that sense. And yeah, there's a chance I might enjoy myself. In fact, I am enjoying myself, so that's quite good. And yeah, Kelly continues to basically be awesome and turn dreams into doing. She's got loads of ideas, loads of things she's trying to do online, and try and generate these things, as well as, I say, trying to manage the household and the kids' education and all these other things. But yeah, we're just little bits here and there, keep grabbing away at it. And what can we do? So 4 weeks ago, we emptied the entire of our locker onto the storage locker onto the boat, and it was pretty carnage, to be honest. Especially, we didn't realise quite how knackered we were when we came back from France. So to do that on top of that was quite a big deal. But Kel particularly has been methodical over the last couple of weeks and just box at a time, working through it. And yeah, she just keeps going, take this to the charity shop, take that to the tip, do this with that. And I just did what I was told. Grumpily, mind, I did it grumpily, but I did do what I was told. And actually, we've now got to a place where you can walk through the boat and everything, we can see where everything's going to go. There's not actually that much stuff. There's a couple of piles of books left. So I need to make some shelves in the forward cabin, and I'm going to put another shelf in the hallway and a couple other bits and pieces. But once that's done, actually everything we own on the boat and everything we need on the boat will have a place, which will be amazing. And the first time since we moved on, that's the case. Having that clear space, like even just today, last couple of days, walking around the boat again and going, I can see there's a bit of space again. I feel a bit of freedom. That's really useful. And I'm feeling inspired to get going. We need to sort the heating out. We've been living on electric heating so far, but the cold is starting to bite a little bit now. And as much as I want to pick up the solar panel project and I want to show you guys the arch, I want to show you how that's gone, and I want to just get the wiring connected. But the reality is, in December, that's probably, if I plugged it in, maybe save us £5 on an electric bill. And it's not what it's about. It's about warm sunny days and tropics, that solar arch. So I'm going to get my head down. I'll save much more basically by getting the heating working. And then some follow-on things, a bit more insulation. And then once that's done, Kelly and I want to move into the forward cabin. So all of us will be sleeping in the forward half of the boat for a few weeks. And then we can do the rip out and start rebuilding the stern cabin. Yeah, so this goes on and on. There's so much we want to do. So it's time for me to bucket my ideas. So often, years gone by with this depression and this seasonal feeling, I don't really get going again until the new year. But it's December now, Christmas is on the way, the kids are super excited, and I'm going to start picking things up and get things moving so that this dream, this ambition we've got to not spend another winter living on a boat in the UK, and to go travelling and see the world and to enjoy our kids over the next few years whilst they're the age they're at. I mean, that's really important for us, is another 4 or 5 years they're going to be getting bigger, and they may still want to do this with us, but they may not. And right now they want to, and right now our parents are healthy, family are healthy. We've got no one depending on us apart from ourselves. We're in such a great place to do this. And as I said, anytime we want, we just come back, we buy some bricks and mortar or whatever, and we get working again. I know we can do that. I know I can teach and I can play music, and and I enjoy that and I love that, and that'll always be there. It will always be there. So this is why right now we've got this little window of life, and we're going to get it down. So I've got to keep thinking about the big picture, but I've got to stop being a grumpy, useless person that I've been for the last few weeks. That's not quite fair. I've done a few things, but I'm going to pick myself up and start working more wholeheartedly towards this big dream we've got. Because either that, or we just pack it in and like go and do some gigs. But no, we've got a dream, we've got a plan. We're going to go and sail and see turtles and tortoises and dolphins and whales and things in their natural habitat, and meet people and eat food, and yeah, live the life that we can live, because we can. We just gotta believe we can.